We're live now and going live on Facebook here in a minute. So what's up, Spring? What's up, Justin?
What's
What's
up?
up, Zach? So happy to be here.
Oh man, thank you so much for making the time for this webinar. Really excited about this one. A lot of people registered, so no pressure for you guys. I mean, Justin used to speak on the road for how long? Every 300 days a year. So walk in the park for you. Spring's on stage all the time. I might be a little nervous, but it's all good.
We were hoping you would lead us through this whole thing.
Yeah. We are really excited about this. So just kind of a couple ground rules here and just making sure everyone's on the same page. Someone's still going to ask this, but we are recording this webinar. We will send out a recording afterwards so that you can take it and really just dive in, because this is a much different webinar than a lot of the webinars we've done or a lot of the webinars that you've seen done. And I was very clear when me and Justin talked about this. This is not like a kind of back and forth Q&A interview style webinar, right? This is content that has been planned out, that's been thought about for weeks. Justin, I know you kind of have your routine, your thing that you go through. I mean, how much time did you put into prepping for this webinar?
Well, we've been prepping for this for 2 years. So we're going to give you an insight into exactly what we do. And that's what's beautiful about being in Spring's world is we just show you the reality, what's working, what's not working, what our results are. Our numbers are right there. Our world is completely transparent. But for everything that we do, we want to bring value. And I'm not knocking anybody out there that does podcasts and that does interviews. Let's go. I love them. But sometimes these Q&As are just fluffy, like, lob balls of like, hey, what's going great in your business? And you walk away from that saying, okay, that's awesome that that person's successful, but how did they really do it? So today, it will be meaning, it'll be where we started, where we are now, but the exact steps that we took to build our team.
Yeah. The reason really Spring thought of you and your team when we were starting to put this webinar together, because this is a topic that's been floating around for a while, is we've watched your business go from 2 years ago, 7-ish agents to 70 agents now, right? Like it's been massive, massive growth. And you guys have some really unique and interesting views on recruiting. So we'll dive into all of that, but just wanted to congratulate both of you on the growth. It's been amazing to watch. I've been able to watch your culture, and it's always kind of been that standard for me of where, even I want our sales team to be as well. So, and it's just fun, right? So, side note, I wanted to also throw out, Rain is it's a Rain by Sisu, REIGN, is our annual event that's going to be happening in September, right? Justin's actually our MC for that. So we picked Justin because he always brings the intensity, and we want that kind of energy at our event. But what this event is about is it's leadership, culture, growth, right? That's what we're going to be going deep on. We have some incredible speakers for this event. And one thing that's cool that I love that we're doing with this event is a lot of people, because we've been doing these Sisu workshops for over a year now, a lot of people will come out and they'll see how Justin and Spring's world, basically all of it operates on Sisu, right? And so they see that and they're like, man, I want to go do that, right? What we're doing at this Rain event is we're going to actually take day one is our Sisu certification, Sisu workshop. We will lay that foundation. So you've got all the tactical pieces in place. So when day two comes and we're talking about those things, leadership, growth, culture, right? That is all going to be in place, and you can just go execute on all of that, that's being taught. So it's going to be an awesome event here in September. Love to see a lot of you there. We do have a discount. So my team will drop in the chat here the discount that you get as a webinar attendee, right, to be able to come to this event. The discount's available till Sunday at midnight. It's 20% off tickets. We have some other discounts as well for like bulk ticketing and everything, but can't wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So
cool. I will be the MC at that event, and please understand I will get a little intense on this Zoom as well. But the only time I get intense is when it's the message that I need to hear. So if I raise my voice, I'm raising my voice at myself, and let's all just play along because that's the message that we need to hear. With that being said, we did plan this out in the complete correct order to build a recruiting machine. And I really want Spring to start us out because she's been the leader of Utah Life for 10 years. This is her baby. And I think it's important for us to know her story as a leader, but also where we started and where we are now.
Yeah, so thank you for having me. A little bit back history is I've actually been in real estate for almost 20 years. And I started a team in 2010. It was a small team for agents. I would recruit by the market center. I was at KW, would give me agents or maybe a friend or family member. And I started to grow and scale it a little bit, probably about 2016. I was like, okay, I got to get intentional around growing and scaling this team. And so we got to about 10 to 12 agents max. And I was just at capacity. I was like, this is a lot. I'm still in production. I'm bringing on these agents, having to coach and train them. And ultimately, I had a decision to make. I called one of my coaches and just said, hey, I'm just not really enjoying this anymore. I'm in this messy middle where all my expenses are the same as if I went and doubled. I'm a mom, I'm in production, I'm a wife. Like, I just want to like rein it back in and be done. And he just laughed and was like, do you really want to just like scale it back? And ultimately he said, do you really see yourself going and taking listings for the rest of your life at a kitchen table? And the answer was no. And so he's like, you have a choice. You have to go scale it. Like, you have to start treating it like a business and go and get agent count and recruit. And so at that point is when I hired Justin. Justin, we've been in business together for a little over 2 years. When Justin came on, we were about 7 to 10 agents, and now we're at 72. Is that correct? 72
Yep.
Agents. And so I'm really excited about this. We're going to share with you exactly what we've done because we've changed it. Like, we started treating recruiting as a separate arm of our business. If you watch the video of this, Justin will dive into this, but the way we look at it is we're great for lead generating buyers and sellers. Well, we have to lead generate for agents. And so when we started getting intentional about what we wanted to do is when our business changed. So I'm going to let Justin really hit on the curriculum. We'll go back and forth on this, but he's the man behind what's actually happening in recruiting and what to say and how to get them in. So I'll let you take it from here, but you guys are in for a treat today.
I may be the one that has executed the recruiting plan and brought the agents in, but that was only because Spring decided to step up and become a legitimate business owner. Now she's surpassed being a business owner. You always hear, how do you move from an operator to an owner? Well, there is another stage after owner. It's powerful creator, where you get to a stage in your life where you realize I can create whatever I want to create. I just have to decide on what I really want. And I think that has been the component that has drove our recruiting business the most, is what is our true north? And there are a lot of people out there that have real estate teams based on ego, based on transactions, based on numbers. Our real estate company is based on profit. So if we can decide what our ultimate profit needs to be, or what we want it to be, and what that's going to provide for our life, our family, now we're playing a game that we want to win. And so you've heard recruiting. Well, what does that even mean to you? What does that mean to you as an owner? What does that mean to your profit? What does that mean to your business? What does that mean to your culture? If you have not made decisions on those key factors or elements of your company, it doesn't matter how dialed in your recruiting business is. So we decided to go profit first. How do you get to profit? Math is the path. And Spring will say that over and over again. So what that means to us, every single one of our agents represents 12 transactions a year for us. So we are a team now going to be doing 1,000 transactions a year. So what that means is we have to have 83 agents on our roster. We stopped living in a delusional world that, like, somebody that's producing 15 a year, all of a sudden I'm going to get them to produce 30 the next year. The most daunting and challenging tasks that exist in real estate is getting a real estate agent to produce more, especially if they don't want to. So Spring and I decided to go back to reality and said, our agents average 12 transactions a year. We are non-negotiable going to do 1,000 transactions a year, and we'll go way beyond that in the upcoming years. But the math is the path, 83 agents. Spring,
Can I say something on that? I think that, so when you guys hear that number, you're like, dang, one a month. We have agents that are doing more than one a month. We have some that are doing 50 or 60 transactions, but we also account for new agents coming in. So a new agent coming in from out of school and getting them into production. And so that's just an easy number for us to say, this is where we have to be, and not be reliant upon our top producers. I mean, one of our top producers just had a baby, or one of them got in a car wreck, or one of them is having this or that. And so we 100% always look at it of what is the law of averages of knowing how many agents we need to hit the production numbers we want. From that, then we create a plan, right?
Absolutely love that. And that needs to be said. We'll have an agent that will do 75 plus deals this year. We had an agent last year as a brand new agent, closed 39 deals. So we have top producers that have been with us 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years plus.
Right.
They are our core, and those agents pay our bills. But all of our profit comes from those other 50 agents that are doing the ones and twosies. Because when that top producer agent has the best month they've ever had and then decides to go on a month-long vacation, or they crush it in November and decide to take the whole rest of the year off, we now have a bench and a roster of people that are constantly closing deals. Look at our CSU dashboard behind me, it's orange. That's because of our agents that are averaging 1 to 2 deals a month. So with that being said, now that we know math is the path, we have to reverse engineer how many net agent count we need to hit our financial goals and have meaning behind those financial goals. We are now playing a winnable game. Now I'm going to sit on my high horse for 30 seconds. Here is the problem with your recruiting company. It is you. It is your psychology. It is your leadership. And it is your communication ability. I am 100% the bottleneck on our recruiting business. I have opened up my mind from going from 20 agents, holy shit, how are we going to do this? How are we going to move this forward? This is so messy. Then we got to 35 agents and I'm like, okay, we figured this out. Everything's good. But then I realized what got me to 35 agents wasn't going to get me to 75. Mm-hmm. I am constantly upgrading my leadership, personal development, because the only thing that will attract agents in this business is leadership. Yes, have the lead generation, accountability, training, but that is not what agents are starving for. They're starving for powerful leadership, a guide. They don't need a hero. They need a guide. Stop being the hero on social media and be the guide on social media, and watch how many agents you attract.
Yeah, so we coach a lot of agents. We have a program that coaches teams, and the number one thing we hear of, like, I don't want to have more than 7 agents or 10 agents, or how am I going to get here? Or maybe I need to have these systems in place before I go recruit. And that's what he's talking about, is you just have to be like, I'm going to go get the agents and figure it out, because at any level, you're going to have issues. I was telling Zach this before you popped on. He's like, man, it seems like you guys have it figured out. I'm like, oh no, now that we've got 70 agents, now there's more things that we have to figure out. But you just have to decide what you want. And it has to be with you as a business owner, what you want. And then go and attract the agents. And when I say attract, I mean, you're going out and being purposeful. You're not just hoping that they come to you, but just know you have to have the agents, and then you deal with the problems that come with the agents. It will never be set up 100% to where you want it to be before. And if you are the person who doesn't start because it has to be perfect, you're never going to grow.
I'll just throw one thing in.
Go ahead, Zach.
Maybe you'll get to this too, but I kind of have an inside look, because I think I have 3 like pretty close friends that actually sell real estate with your team. And I look at how different each of those friends are, like completely different people, and they all love it on your team, right? And that speaks to your ability to create an amazing culture, but also a dynamic culture that, like, lots of personality types can be a part of and thrive in, right? So again, another reason why I'm glad you're doing this webinar with us.
I think it's about creating the vehicle that somebody can drive, right? So we as a team create the vehicle that somebody can be successful in. It's up to them of how they want to have their success. To your point, you have some friends that really don't like to prospect, but they will take an internet lead or an ISA lead and crush it. And then you have some that are like, love to smile and dial. So it's really meeting the agent where they're at and helping them achieve their goals. But from an ownership perspective, like you guys just have to be like, this is what I want. And I'm willing to go in and just know it might be messy for a minute. And that's okay. It's never going to be perfect, but you have to start attracting the agents so you have the income to go create some other things too.
Absolutely love that. And here's one of Spring's favorite quotes. I believe I made it up, but here's the thing. Salt Lake City, Utah has 26,000 agents. Yeah. I don't care about 25,800 of them. I'm going to find my 200 that want to drive our vehicle. So stop worrying about your message. Stop worrying. You guys, one of the most powerful things of us being at 72 agents, and by next week, 75 plus, and by the end of the year, 110 plus, is we have not compromised our splits. You guys, we are a 50-50 company on SOI, 70 to us, 30 to our agents on our lead generation. We have not compromised who we are and our profit to attract agents, because I don't need to attract 26,000 agents. Once you decide on the number where that hits your economies of scale, then you go on a mission to find your people that want to drive your vehicle. Now, in order to do that, you have to build the vehicle. We have 2 companies. Your real estate agents have 2 companies. 9 out of 10 people fail out of real estate. That means 10% make it. Out of those 10%, I would say about 3% actually make money. So there is a huge failure rate in real estate. But those 9 out of 10 people that failed out of real estate, they didn't fail out most likely because of their real estate knowledge. They failed out because they didn't have customers, because they don't have a complete understanding of what a real estate business is. Your real estate business is second, your lead generation business is first. Now, you as a business owner, your second business is your team. Your second business is your brokerage. Your first business is attracting and recruiting agents so that you can actually have a team or brokerage. So if your first business was ran like your second business, and be honest here, does your first business have separate goals? And this is the note-taking part, you guys. We're not here to be fluffy and dive into this. You just have to make a decision today. You have to live in reality. Does your recruiting business have goals, standards, separate systems, meaning separate CSU and separate CRM? Are you having daily accountability meetings based on recruiting? Are your numbers being reported out daily? Have you chunked down your goals into 3 months, 2 months, 1 month, this week? If not, we're doing ourselves a disservice, because you would not be on this call if you didn't know how to run a company. But we're not running a recruiting company. So if you were to take anything away from me today, and this is where I get certain and this is where I get intense, because I'm talking to myself. You guys, we went from 7 agents to 75 agents under 2 years without compromising our splits, and we are nowhere near done. And I'm telling you, we have that first company, but am I really running it that way? Like it's my priority? And the answer is no, I'm falling short. This is a message that we all need to hear. Recruiting and net agent count solve all problems, yes, but they provide all solutions. Run that first company like a company. Become the CEO of that company and watch how your world changes.
Yeah, so to what he said, you all are on here means you've got a great business. Like, you know how to generate buyer and seller leads. So it's literally taking what you're a master at and just transferring it over to your recruiting side. So a couple things he hit on that were A, know how many agents you want to recruit. We've already talked about that. B, create a separate CRM. So create a separate CRM so you can have dialogue, and we'll go over this. I don't know if you're gonna go over this later, Justin, about what we're doing there, but a separate CRM for agents. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I am somebody who probably, if you were gonna call me today, I'm not changing brokerages. But if you kept track of the conversation we had, so when you called me again, that it was a quality conversation, it would be great. It's just like a buyer and seller. And then same with the CSU. We use CSU Recruiting's platform at a very, very high level in our organization. We have a full-time recruiter. We have a recruiter in the Philippines, which Justin will hit on in a little bit. They use our CSU Recruiting dashboard for all their metrics. And we can tell you exactly how many conversations to appointment set to appointment met. So it's really ran like a real business. And we also use the CSU Recruiting platform for, Justin, you're sharing your screen, you got it here. We use the CSU Recruiting platform for our on and offboarding. So you can see right here, Justin's sharing a screen. This is our recruiting platform for who's coming through Hello Week, who, if you scroll over, who's being onboarded in the team right now, who's in their first 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, what action items still need to happen on it, who recruited them, all of that. So my point of this is this is how we manage it. But if you're not getting this intentional around your agent attraction, you should. You should get intentional around it because it will be a game changer for you. You can see on here, this is for our recruiting for where we're at for the month. Yeah, so our month to date, I mean, there's been 520 recruiting conversations. We've had of new recruiting appointments, 43, 15 with experienced agents, and we've brought on 12 agents so far this month. So you can see like we're purposeful around it. When Justin talked about, do we have a core metric? When Justin and I meet for 10 minutes a day with our leadership team, he reports out how many recruiting appointments were scheduled for the next day, and then how many were met. And maybe Justin, if you want to hit on that. But we set a goal, we do 90-day goals, and we set a goal in the next 90 days. This was set back in July or early June, that we were going to have 50 agents additional by September 29th. So every day we report out where we're at in terms of that. And he knows exactly how many appointments he has to have, exactly how many loose he has to have in order for us to hit that. When you get that purposeful around something, there's no chance that you're not going to hit your goals.
So to her point, this is our recruiting business. I know exactly where we stand for this month. We have values, we have standards, we have goals, we have accountability. And hear me on this, because this is CSU's superpower. We have a scoreboard. If you don't have a scoreboard, who cares? Like, what are we doing? So we need a visual of exactly where our recruiting business is. And we got to the point that we need so much visual that we have a virtual assistant every day in our leadership Slack channel, the owners of the company. So just the main leaders. We have a visual of our roster with their pictures, their names, and blank spots of how many we need by September 29th. So we all have eyes on it every single day of, cool, we have 72 agents. We are 20 short. We have 7 weeks to accomplish it. How many are onboarding? How many are recruiting? And you can see how effective a scoreboard is right here on recruits lost. You guys, we played this game for a while where we're like, oh my gosh, we're crushing it. We're recruiting more agents than any team in the country because we are looking at recruits, but we actually need to pay attention to net agent count.
Yeah.
If you are going to grow a team, you have to get comfortable with attrition and losing agents. If you're not losing agents, you're not recruiting enough and you don't have high enough standards.
Yeah, we plan on at least a 30% attrition rate. And I mean, we're being advised from our coaching 30, 40, 50%. So we just need to know. So that's where we're very hyper focused of who we're bringing into our organization. So Justin, so we've talked about this of separate CRM, separate CSU, as well as this is our CRM. You can see on here, we use Activecampaign. There's no reason other than it was easy for us. I am a believer of don't go and put a seat in your CRM. Like if you're using Boomtown or Chime or Follow Up Boss, I don't love creating an agent in there that's for recruiting, only because it's been messy. And we have ultimately, somehow some of these agents have ended up in our pond, and now we have a ton of agents calling them. So we use what is called Activecampaign. It's like $8 a month. You can use whatever you want, but this is where we load. So we'll load in our avatars. So we'll load in the avatar based off of, sorry, somebody just walked in here. We'll load in our avatars based off if they're in real estate school, or if we like to target anybody below 10 transactions a year. Based off of that, we have somebody in the Philippines that sends out, they do the recruiting part. Justin can hit on this, but this is the list. So she's got 495 people that she hasn't attempted yet. She's got 1,293 that she's called, but she hasn't yet contacted. She's got 278 people that she's working. She's got 162 on meetings held, one-on-one appointments set, 350, and then so on and so forth. I don't know why it's not showing up, but it usually will show you their whole, like the people that are in there.
It's just a glitch. The customer service is working on it for me right now. If we were to pull up Lucy's, it's just my specific Activecampaign.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, a stage board for recruiting is a game changer, because I have a virtual assistant, and please hear me on this. She's setting 15 to 20 recruiting appointments for us every week. Now, she puts everything into Activecampaign. Everything is organized. I have a VP of recruiting that now is taking about 75% of the recruiting off my plate, and I'm still responsible for a good chunk, but she's now running the recruiting side. How we communicate is by everybody being in the correct stage board. So working interested, meeting held, one-on-one appointment set. It goes all the way down to, are they in our brokerage or not our team? Leads that we've won, not interested. So at any time, we can organize thousands of leads. We could put all 26,000 agents in the state of Utah in this, and as long as they're in the correct stage board, we now have a game that we can dive in and all effectively communicate with each other.
Yeah, this is powerful, as he mentioned. So Justin, let's hit on this too. So you have a recruiter in the Philippines. So when we were like, hey, we've got to scale, like we need to scale, and we need to scale quickly. We need more people making calls or sending texts. And I know all you guys on here are like, man, that's annoying, because I feel that way too. Like, I don't want to be blown up without value. And so we were very particular about like, hey, if we're going to reach out, what is our value proposition? Like, why are we reaching out? What is she saying? And Justin took, would you say 3 weeks, a month to train her on exactly what to say?
Yeah. So when we first hired Angel, and she is an Angel now, and she's been with us a year and a half. And honestly, her in the Philippines, this is an amazing job. She makes incredible money based on where she lives, and she could stay with us a decade plus. I mean, this is an amazing career for her. And we, unfortunately, when we first hired her, did not treat her that way. We gave her training, we gave her the systems, we told her what to do, we gave her scripting. And then about 2 weeks in, I called Spring and I said, this isn't working. I'm going to take it back over. I'm obviously better than a virtual assistant in the Philippines. And then Spring said, well, Justin, have you trained her? And I'm like, well, yes. And basically, well, yeah, I get that you trained her a few times. Have you trained her effectively? And then that's when I went on a 90-day campaign of daily calls, daily Zooms, daily script and role play, Zooming everything and recording it so she could hear every conversation, her texting me and slacking me almost 4 to 5 times a day. Hey, I got this objection. Hey, this person said this. I'm sending this text. And in real time, in 90 days, we cleaned it up to where she was booking 15 to 20 recruiting appointments a week. I think this is the challenge. Most people are not willing to give a virtual assistant 90 days. But now when I just see appointment right on my calendar, game changer.
Yeah, that's what I want to hit on, you guys. Like, it is so worth it. She will be with us forever. If you could train somebody for 90 days to ultimately get 20 recruiting appointments a week, I think you would do it. And so one of the biggest mistakes we make is that we just expect them, want to give them the stuff and then be hands off. And if she was in our office, we would be listening to what she was saying. We'd be giving her feedback. So you have to treat a virtual assistant the same way. So this virtual assistant is scheduling 20 appointments a week, plus Justin is on the phones as well, and we're getting people in. So I'm going to let you take it from here.
Yep,
of where you want to go.
that was a perfect. You guys, systems, CRM, CSU, standards, accountability. And this is me saying it to me as well. So don't take this the wrong way. Stop acting like you have this stuff when you don't. This is, run it like a business and your business will explode in a good way. Okay, now, first and foremost, before you build your recruiting business, you have to have an attraction business or a lighthouse business. And what I mean by that is, think of an analogy of this. How most people recruit is they're like a tugboat that's going out to sea rescuing ships that are lost. So these lost agents, like, let's go use all of our fuel, all of our time, and go out into the ocean and, like, have a risk of death and loss of supplies and loss of money to go and save all these lost ships or lost agents. We do that by calling and seeing if they're ready to go or if they're in a transition phase. But our superpower is that we're actually a lighthouse. We attract agents. And even if we're calling them, it's almost like a warm call because they know who we are. Now, just a few elements to put in place. Again, I'm not going to go into detail because this is not about that. That's not this today. It's about you becoming aware, am I doing that? Number one, leadership. That is the only thing that attracts in this business. What message are you sending to the market? What does your social media say about you? What value are you adding to the market? Lead them better than their current leader is leading them. And just imagine an average brokerage. Imagine the leader that's in that brokerage. Be better than that, and you will instantly become attractive. Even the message you're sending about the market, about interest rates, live in reality, but also be growth mindset. Show the opportunity, show the success. As I like to put it, all of us collectively stop saying stupid shit. And if you just did that alone, you'd be better than 90% of the leaders in real estate.
Yeah, Justin says that. He says that all the time, tells our agents, he said, stop saying stupid shit. Like, please don't put that meme on social media. Your clients are watching, or talking about how horrible everything is. Like, you have to be the person they're attracted to. People are coming to a team because they want leadership, they want coaching, they want leads, they want systems. They're looking to you to be that, as Justin says, lighthouse. Like, you are providing an opportunity and a solution to their problems. So you have to put it out there that that is who you are. I would also say with your social media, you really need to have it be about your agents. So your agent success, your agents, what they're doing. Like, it can't be all about you. It can't be all about your team name. Like, agents want significance and recognition, and people are attracted to that, right? So start putting it out there of what your agents are doing because they're watching. I will tell you this, our social media, if you go to it, has nothing about buying and selling a home. I don't believe our team social media, not necessarily our personal, but our team social media, a consumer is not going to go to the Utah Life Real Estate Facebook or Instagram page. But I can tell you, an agent's going to go check us out when they're wanting to see what our culture is or what we're all about. So our 100% our social media is all about the agents and what they're doing. And I'd recommend that to you as well.
I love this so much, social proof. And this actually requires you to have a more powerful culture right now. Show them the reality, level up your meetings, level up your celebration, your contribution, really give them some insight into how amazing your culture is. Agents out front, celebrate your agents, recognize your agents, and they will stay with you, not forever, maybe, I don't know, but just an example, like, I'm not going anywhere. Spring and I have been in business for 2+ years. I am not going anywhere. No one can recruit me. Nobody can offer me an opportunity that I would leave Spring for, period. And the reason is she's putting me out front. She's recognizing me. She's holding me accountable. She's making her world bigger and more meaningful so that I can play in her world. If you're not doing this for your agents, they will leave. Spring is fulfilling my human needs as a person. and recognition, significance, contribution. If you're not doing this for your agents, they will go and find it somewhere else. A few other things, have some events. Spring struggled this when we first started this, like, who am I going to coach? What do I have to offer? And what we all need to realize is we are not recruiting Spring. Spring's not going to go and join your team. But there are a lot of agents out there that need your message, that need your value. So start bringing what you're best at to the market. Have small events, big events, pump it up on social media, get a few agents there, top producer panel, whatever it is. It's the consistency of the message that you're crushing it, you're adding value, and you love what you do. And that's what's going to attract agents.
Yeah, I would say, so he's talking about being a lighthouse, so social media and then events. The purpose of an event is them to get the human interaction with you that they've seen on social media. So if you're providing value in the marketplace, to what Justin just said, I really struggled with this for a long time. I had a mentor that was like, Spring, you got to grow your team. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. He's like, you have to start putting it out there and you have to start doing events. And I said, well, what kind of events am I supposed to teach? And he goes, or host. And he's all, teach a class. And my drunk monkey over here was like, I don't know what class to teach. I don't have any value. And he said, this just hit me. And this is what Justin was saying. Know your audience. He said, Spring, I'm not going to show up to one of your classes, but your audience is going to show up to one of your classes, and that's who you're trying to attract. And it just hit me. I'm like, oh, you're right. I do know more than who I'm trying to attract. So the agent you're trying to attract, you are that person who has the knowledge and the influence. So you have to put it out there. So get over the fact that you're like, I'm not sure what to do. Just start doing it. My first event, I probably had 12 people show up. Like, it wasn't anything spectacular. And I held events, even career nights or whatnot, that I'd maybe have 4 people show up. Now we hold national events that we have hundreds and thousands of people show up. But you have to just start, and then ultimately it will start to just take off, and you will start to become that person in your place, in your
Funny, because I'm remembering all your crappy little Eventbrite pages and everything that we had going on Spring. but you were doing it, right? So
doing it. You know, I get the Facebook memories now that I'm like, have the little ring light in the office and the CSU in the back, and I'm like, hey, come to my business planning workshop. And it was only 4 years ago. So that's what I'm just saying. You guys just have to start putting it out there.
Yeah, we've had events with 4 people. Just take the picture at the right angle and it looks like the room is full. But here's the thing. We've had events with 4 people where we've recruited 3.
Yeah.
Who cares? Like, if one person shows up and you recruit them, it's a win.
I know someone who showed up to your 4-person career night, whatever, and is doing 30-some transactions now. So like, you
always tell the story of success. And we'll get into that today. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if you're going to want to hear what I'm about to say, but I'm not going to apologize for it. Here's what is absolutely essential. And this is why we crush it. This is why I can recruit anyone. My belief around who we are and who I am is powerful. Not because of my ego, because I've prepared. And I feel like any agent that sits down with me, I will be better than anybody that they could ever meet with. I have a powerful strategy session. I practice script and role play. I know my value proposition. I know our team's value proposition. They can feel my certainty. So the whole key is, yes, attract. Yes, run it like a business. But my superpower is if I can get somebody to sit down with me, I'm recruiting them if I want them in our world. And it comes down to a few essential things that are non-negotiable. Number 1, scripting. I developed scripting around calling agents, around calling veteran agents, around calling new agents. And from start to finish, which we're giving you as a bonus today, you will get my 30-minute strategy session to sit down with an agent. It is powerful. Now, that was developed through the psychology of sales, the psychology of what a human being needs to buy into something. And you'll notice in that strategy session, the value proposition is probably in a 30-minute strategy session about 1 minute. And if you're honest with yourself, what we're doing during strategy sessions with agents is we're really telling them how cool we are. Agents don't give a shit about splits, about lead generation, or whatever we think they care about on the surface. They have families, they have goals, they're frustrated, they're afraid, they are at a crossroads in their life, and they need us. They would not be meeting with you if they didn't need something. And this is our power, is I care about people. When they tell me why they get into business, I don't say, oh, that's great. Let me tell you about our lead generation. I go 3 or 4 levels deep to where we get to the heart of why they're meeting with me. And trust me, it's never been about lead generation or culture or training or mentorship. It's that they are at a point where they are at a crossroads and they are frustrated and they want to do everything that it takes to hit their financial goal. And guess what we provide? We are the best vehicle in the state of Utah to hit your financial goal, period.
So Justin,
maybe
hit on the question you asked, because I think this is powerful. And maybe we're going to hit on this, the why and then the why now. Yeah,
we are. So let me do that though. So here's the things that are non-negotiable. Again, we're not diving in, just take notes. Scripting. You tell your agents to script and role play, and then the most important part of your business, we're not script and role playing. Number 2, strategy session. Work on it, make it powerful. We're giving it to you. Could you imagine an agent that doesn't have a listing consultation or a buyer consultation, how much they would struggle? So I just decided to design the best in the industry. Next, all value is in the next step. Please write that down word for word. All value is in the next step. It's not in recruiting them. It's not in signing them. What I'm great at is discovering the truth. I'm a truth seeker, and then I'm a truth teller. I'm a truth seeker first, and then I'm a truth teller. And all I do based on what they want, what they care about, and what they need, I offer a next powerful step where they're like, oh my God, yes, let's go. And then they get to see our real world. And once they see our culture, once they experience what it's like to be with us before they are with us, I'm going to say that again. Once they experience what it's like to be with us before they are with us, their decision has already been made and they will join our team. Value proposition. Okay. So I wrote 100 reasons why an agent should meet with me. I wrote 100 reasons of why an agent should go through a strategy session with me. I wrote 100 reasons why we are better than every team in the state of Utah. Then I condensed that down, made it simple, and I conditioned it to where it comes out in my energy, it comes out in my certainty, and it allows me to stand in my power and have quality conversations with agents. The reason I know you don't want to hear that is because I know we're not doing that. We're acting like we are. You should be able to stand up in front of 1,000 team owners and tell them why you're better. You should have it so rehearsed, your value proposition and your discovery process, that it is automatic. Not only is this fun and powerful, it will lead you to the agent count, and it will lead you to the type of agents that you really want to attract. Okay, so on what Spring said, scripting around, and I'll rapid fire again. This is not training, this is reality. To recruit an experienced agent, you call and you get to the effing point. Stop trying to build fake rapport. It's basic language patterns of how people communicate. If they know who you are and they know why you're calling, and you have great energy and tone, and you do all of that in the first 3 seconds, you are facing that agent with a decision, one decision. Do I want to talk to this person or don't I? And that is powerful when you can face somebody with one decision. Our problem is we're calling and saying, hey, I'm seeing your numbers and I'm really impressed by them. And first of all, I don't know their numbers, and I'm obviously not impressed by their numbers if I'm calling them. Because if they were doing 100 deals a year, I probably wouldn't be calling them. So what I do is I tell the truth. Hey, this is Justin with Utah Life. How are you today? I'm great. Da, 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 da. Hey, the reason for my call is I use the downswing, I drop it off, and I say, the reason for my call is, and I can feel them lean in and I lean in. And then I very quickly tell them the reason for my call. Hey, over here at Utah Life, we're just seeing extraordinary success. We have agents that are doubling and tripling their business year over year, and we're looking for another agent to partner with. Would you be open to hearing about some other opportunities in the market? Would you consider having a conversation with me about a strategy to take your business to the next level? This always leads to good dialogue. Even if they're not willing to meet with me, they appreciate and respect that I am telling them the truth. And by the way, that all took 30 seconds. They're not going to be pissed that I wasted 30 seconds of their time. They're actually going to respect that I'm grinding and hustling. And then you can make a promise. Hey, this is my promise to you. I won't even mention Utah Life unless you tell me that it's okay to mention Utah Life. Let's sit down for 20 minutes, talk about your business, your goals, where you are now, where you want to be, and let's come up with a strategy to get there. If you feel like there was enough value in there to talk Utah Life, let's talk Utah Life. Okay, done. Next, strategy session. You guys, I'm going to break it down. Take notes. Here you go. Here's a powerful strategy session. Number one, show up. Be on point with the way you're dressed, your energy, your state. Be on time. How you're going to attract is by leaving an impression. And how you leave an impression is you impress that person. I am dialed in. My phone is off the table. My computer is shut. I am locked in. I shake with their hand correct. I am giving them the respect they deserve as a human being. And by the way, if you break down numbers on our team, they close 12 in a year. They stay with us 2 years. That's 24 transactions. Let's take a home that's $400,000. That's $12,000 in commission. Do that on a 50-50 split, $6,000 in company dollar every time they close a deal. 6 times 24 is, I don't know. What is it? 6 times 24 is $150,000. $150,000 in company revenue. Do you think it's worth 20 minutes of my time to show up like a badass and provide more value than anybody else has ever provided for them? Treat it like that. You'll have more fun. Here's the strategy session. Set correct expectations of what's going to happen. Number 2, ask them why they're meeting with you and actually care about the answer. Once you figure out why, first of all, no agent cares, no brokerage cares about that. I do. But what I do is I figure out why now. Hey, based on your answer, you're in a discovery phase. I get it. Sounds like you're at a crossroads. Thank you for sharing that with me. But based on what you shared with me, it sounds like you've been thinking about this for a while. Why are you ready now? First of all, there's so much NLP in there. Like that's like, oh, I am here. I am at a crossroads. I am at a decision-making process. Like they're now like in decision-making mode. And they're going to tell me the truth at this point. Man, I'm sick of this. I haven't been making money. I'm super stressed. My wife or my husband, like my kid, like now I'm in a place to serve that person. It takes no more time than a normal strategy session. It's just a higher quality of question. And we know this. If we ask stupid questions, we are going to get stupid answers. If we ask quality questions, we get quality answers. They are speaking 25 minutes of the time. I am speaking 5 minutes of the time. Because the more you speak, the more you devalue yourself. The more they speak their truth, they are automatically connecting you to the solution. So now we're at why now? Love this question. Hey, so now what are your goals? Cool, awesome, da 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 da. Love your goals, financial goals. I push them a little bit. We break it down. What do you need to accomplish those goals? Hey, this isn't about you interviewing for a job. This is about you finding the most powerful vehicle to develop yourself as a person and to hit your financial goal. So what do you need? Now, this is where they value prop themselves and tell me, oh my God, I need mentorship. Cool, we got that. I don't say that yet, but I'm just saying, going down the line, we need mentorship. I need accountability. I would love lead generation. I want some support. I want to be a part of a powerful culture. Cool, my value prop's done. They just gave me the value prop. And then I just wrap a bow on it at the end, show them how we line up with exactly what they need. And then now they're in a position to take the next step. Okay. I also tell them how to choose a brokerage. I tell them the difference between team and solo, and then I give them next steps. I'll do this very quickly. Again, this is not about training, but here's the 3 steps. Number 1, the most important part of choosing a team or a brokerage, do the initial interview, and you're going to want to pay attention to one thing above everything else. How do you feel? The reason for this is I'm going to make them feel way better than any other brokerage or team. So it puts me in the advantage. And then I educate them. You are not making a logical decision. You are making an emotional decision, and you're justifying it with logic. But here's the key. If you're not emotionally connected at that first interview, no need to justify it with logic. You're good. Move on. Now they're like, you know what, Justin, I actually feel amazing. Thank you. Cool. Second step, you're going to immediately back up what that interview or how you felt in that interview with reality. You need to immediately go into their culture and go to a training or go into a meeting. If a brokerage or team pushes you out more than 24 hours, that is a massive red flag. That means they're not proud of their culture. Again, it's the truth, but it's setting me up for success. Now, once you get into that culture, you get to decide, do you want to be a part of this? Are there top producers? Could you be successful here? Once all of that is in alignment, then you're going to take the 3rd step. The 3rd step is you said you wanted to make $120,000 in your first year of real estate, correct? Correct. Awesome. These are the exact words you're going to say to every team owner you meet with. Me making $120,000 in my first year in real estate is non-negotiable. Will you please tell me your plan and how you're going to support me in doing that? And this is what a team owner is going to do. And then they're going to come up with an answer. I am going to reverse engineer their financial plan down to the minute, show them our mentor plan, our lead generation, our support, our accountability, and then I'm going to give them 3 or 4 testimonials of people doing that in their first year. And then I'm going to connect them to that agent. Okay, enough education on the strategy session. We'll give you the video. Next, you call a new agent. I'm not going to get into this, but the new agent, you give them an irresistible offer that they would be stupid to refuse. So this is what we offer to a new agent, and I won't get into the whole scripting, but this is my offer. What we do here is a little bit different. We actually don't run recruiting appointments with new agents. We run legitimate strategy sessions. During the strategy session, we're going to show you how to choose the best brokerage or team for you, show you how to get started in the business, and then break down exactly what it takes for you to hit your financial goal. Would you see some value in that? Yes, then you book them. Okay. Sorry, that was a tangent, but it needed to be said.
I think it's great. I think that's one of the key components of, like, we teach our agents what to say to prospect or buyers and sellers. So you hit on that exactly. Like, you have to know what you're saying to provide the value of why, A, to get them in the office, B, to have a powerful conversation. And I think the number one thing I love, and this is what I hit on earlier, is the why now. Because nobody's just meeting with you to meet with you. If they're an experienced agent, like, why now are you willing to meet with me? And if they're new, why now did you choose to get into real estate? Like, what's going on in your life so you can have a quality conversation? I don't know about you, but I've been in plenty of recruiting appointments where they just value propped me the whole time of, like, how great it is to be in their world. And that's not what people care about. They really care about how they can succeed in your world and really meeting their human needs, right? Like, maybe they lost their job, maybe they're having a new baby, whatever it is. So you're the master at this. The key to this is to what Justin said as well, and I'm sure this is where you're leading into, is you do the strategy session, and then we invite them to be part of our culture. So we can really see how they're showing up. We can really see, like, what is their real energy, because anybody can fake an interview, you guys. I don't know about you, but I have not been able to determine who's going to be successful in this business and who is not. I've brought on people that I thought were going to be rock stars, and they were duds. And then I thought people that would no way in heck would make it. And oh my gosh, they're amazing. So you have to get them in to at least experience who they really are and how they're going to show up. So once we take them through, are you going to hit on Hello Week and all of that, or what's your next?
Let's go there right now. So actually, Spring, you take over Hello Week. I'll just frame it in one way. The strategy session that you're going to get, the 30-minute video, is money. It's better than anything else that's out there. I am going to tell you that we have added a lot more teeth to the strategy session since I filmed that. And what I mean by teeth is a bite. The reality of real estate, the reality that we are a sales organization. If you don't want to be a salesperson, go somewhere else. The reality of being a salesperson is you know your numbers, you're reporting every day, you attend your group one-on-ones, period, or you're not on this team. You're attending team meeting every week live, because if you're not proud of this team, we don't want you here. Yeah. And this is the language I use in the very first time I meet with them, because I am no longer going to be fluffy and sugarcoating what it takes to be successful in real estate, because what it took to be successful over the last 2 years is different than what it takes right now. It's database, follow-up, organization, commitment, showing up, accountability. And here's the thing, you guys, 90% of the industry will tell you they want that, and they absolutely do not want it at all. Yeah. So stop sugarcoating the initial interview and be real with what it takes to be successful in real estate, and face them with a real decision.
Yeah, I think the key to that is we're just now being like, are you okay that we're going to hold you accountable? Like, this is what it takes. Are you going to be comfortable with that? So once they come through a strategy session, we'll end it with this. We have them come in for what we call Hello Week. And Hello Week, you saw it on the dashboard that Justin shared with you guys. Hello Week is a week we get to just see how they show up. If they're willing to be uncomfortable in uncomfortable situations. So we will give them a seat in our CRM, as well as an email address in our G Suite, just so it's connected to the CRM. And we put them through a week of training. So it's a week of script and role play. It's a week of learning how to use a CRM. It's a week of all of that, a week of that. And then during that, on day 2, we give them 10 leads that are from our pond. And we wanted to see that they're going to call, text, and be willing to feel uncomfortable, because call, texting an old lead 3 times in a day feels a little daunting. But
every day, by the way, not just call, text for one day, call, text for 10 days straight.
Yeah, we want to just see, like, are you willing to, and it's 10 different leads, so it's not that same person, but we want to just see if they're willing to do what it's going to take to feel uncomfortable with working a lead, as well as if they're willing to go through script and role play and learn the scripts. And this is really our filter system to see. You would be amazed how many people actually make it through, because they like the accountability. They like the structure. They like feeling confident when they get on the phone. And then you'd be amazed at how many people are like, this is not what I thought real estate was going to be. Like, I don't want to do this. And we tell them, we're not the right fit for everybody. We know this, but we also spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on lead generation. And so we do expect, if you're going to be in our world, this is what we expect from you. To what Justin said, it works. It's our way that we can bring people in. It's our way that we can know within a couple of weeks, and we're not going through the whole crazy onboard. And it really eliminates people from our culture from the very beginning. The reason I implemented this, just so you know, is we were having massive turnover when we were bringing people in and then letting them go through in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then our senior agents were like, man, these new agents, they don't want to be here. And then it started mind effing them of like, why are all these people like leaving the team? We have such an attrition rate. And so I was like, hey, we got to adjust this. It's like, you have to try out for the team. So it's really an addition for them, and it's an addition for us. They're seeing if we're the right fit, vice versa.
Love it. Okay, you guys, love that. Yes. Okay. Take notes right now. I'm going to give you 8 weeks worth of training. I've been through a lot of recruiting training, and this is 8 weeks of material, and I'm going to give it to you in less than 60 seconds, because this is the framework. We're actually going to show you our blueprint, and we're going to give you a video of us designing it so that you can design your own. But here you go. Where do we get our leads from? You guys, I'm not training on this. I'm just saying it. Indeed, real estate schools, broker metrics, social media, and we leverage our current agents. Indeed, school lists, broker metrics, social media, and we leverage our current agents. That is their top of our funnel. How do you get these people in your organization? You call, you text, you email, you invite, and you target. I'm going to say it again. You call, you text, you email, you invite, and you target on social media. Okay, done. Now you have the top of the funnel. Now you have the communication of how you're reaching out to these agents. Now, the whole purpose of this funnel is to lead to a powerful strategy session. Then the last part is experience, interview, hello week. So but the whole purpose is, who are you going to target? How are you going to get them into your world? Do you have a powerful strategy session? Now, this is where I can save you 8 weeks or 12 weeks of whatever you want to do in a recruiting program. Is whatever you do consistently will work. This is gut check time. Are you on the phone every day? That's it. Calls will kill everything else. Calls, you as the leader actually picking up the phone and calling will destroy any recruiting program that you've ever been involved in. And that's what's going to lead you to the number you want. And if you're going to do that, you better come with scripts, you better come with power, a value proposition, and a badass strategy session. And just understand the same thing that built your real estate company is the same thing that's going to build, your real estate business is the same thing that's going to add to your net agent count and build your real estate team. Hit the phones, prospect, and know your shit. The other thing is this recruiting process never stops. You have to constantly recruit the agents you have. Every meeting, every one-on-one, all recognition, all accountability. I'm constantly re-enrolling our agents in value, re-enrolling our agents in the message, re-enrolling our agents that we are different, we produce more, and they become proud of the organization that they're part of. Your job starts once they are recruited.
Mic drop. We're over on time. So how do you guys want to end this?
I told Justin, don't worry about time. I wish you'd go for another hour. So.
Let's go. I'm in the flow state. Zach, if you have some closing remarks, and then I'll make them aware of if they want to connect with Spring and I. So
yeah, so I just want to tell everyone that thanks for coming. We had a couple hundred people between here and Facebook throughout the entire time listening. Thank you, Spring and Justin, for preparing this. What you're going to get now, right? All the values in the next step, right? The value was not here. The value is in the next step that you're going to take. Recruiting blueprint, the video of you creating the recruiting blueprint, the strategy session, and a recording of this webinar, right? It likely will not be in your inbox today. It's going to come, not all of it. We're putting some final touches on a few things. Was it Tuesday next week, Justin?
Yeah, everything will be wrapped up on Tuesday. So we should be able to deliver that to you in a nice package, branded and everything, looking great by Wednesday.
Okay. Recording will come out today for sure. So you can start to kind of hash some of this and start taking those next steps. That's all I got, Justin, if you want to close it out.
So if there was some value here for you today, I would recommend you do a few different things, okay? If you have not done a CSU demo or you're not part of CSU, get that demo scheduled. Zach will, I'm sure, give you a follow-up email of how to get that done. CSU is our lifeblood. It is our heart. It is our brain. It is everything. And I am not saying this because of our connection with CSU. Our entire world is ran through CSU. And here is the only problem with CSU. You're not using it. That is the only flaw that CSU has, because if you use it, it will be a game changer. Next, the rain event is going to be fire. If you know the CEO of CSU, Brian Charlesworth, this guy is one of the biggest thinkers in the real estate industry, maybe on the planet. But he is going to bring value. He's going to bring fire. So I would get in that room with some other top performing team owners and minds and really level up your business. If you would like to connect with Spring and I, this is what I can offer you. A 30-minute strategy session where you tell me what your issue is or what your challenge is, and we break it apart and come up with a solution. Now, I'm going to be incredibly honest with my intention on that. I'm going to provide so much value in that 30 minutes. I'm going to solve that problem or come up with that solution that you're going to see enough value in us to consider what we have to offer. And what we have to offer is the absolute best training program that exists in the industry, period. If you want to scale your team to meaning, to profit, to organization, operations, transaction coordination, schedule a strategy session with me and we'll make it worth your time. Other than that, today was fun. So I feel good.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us, Zach.
Yeah.
And
No, it was awesome. I've wanted to do this for a long time. Glad you're doing it. I cannot wait for rain. I know you're going to bring more content just like this, so it's going to be fun. So thanks everyone. Recording will go out. We'll provide some links, resources, and more to come. So just thank you for making the time to improve your business and hear us out. So thanks,
It's
Justin.
go time. It's go time. This
Let's
market
go.
is a blessing. Let's go.
Love it. Thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye, guys.